Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are opening a file that I think a lot of people might have missed, or maybe they just, skimmed over it in the grand scheme of the Star Wars timeline.
Oh, for sure.
But it is, and I don't say this lightly, absolutely essential to understanding the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker. We are talking about a specific moment in time that really changes everything.
It really is. We often look at the movies, right? We see the Phantom Menace, and Anakin is this innocent, wide-eyed 9-year-old kid yelling, "Yippee!"
Right.
And then we jump a decade forward to Attack of the Clones, and suddenly he's this angst-ridden, troubled, resentful teenager who is practically vibrating with rage.
Yeah, he's just simmering.
And the audience is usually left to just kind of shrug and say, oh, well, puberty happened, teenagers are moody.
Exactly. Just teenage hormones and a bad haircut.
But what we have here in the source material we're covering today is the missing link. It's the connective tissue.
It really is. We are looking at Jedi Quest, The Shadow Trap by Jude Watson. And let me tell you, the stakes in this book, they are shockingly high.
They really are.
We aren't just talking about some skirmish with droids or, a minor political dispute. We are talking about the death of a sitting Jedi Council member.
A master who, frankly, doesn't get enough credit in the lore. Master Yaddle.
Exactly, Yaddle. The one who looks like Yoda that isn't Yoda.
The one with the hair?
The one with the brown hair in episode I, yes. And today we are going to unpack exactly how her death happens, but more importantly, we're going to look at the massive wedge this event drives between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Because this isn't just an adventure story, it's a psychological thriller about failure.
It is. It's about failure, it's about attachment, and it's about a villain who, get this, doesn't use the Force.
Right.
He uses the truth to manipulate the Jedi. He uses their own dogma, their own rules against them.
Which is so much more terrifying in a way.
It's insidious.
So let's orient the listener, set the stage for us. Where are we in the timeline? What's going on?
Okay, so we are squarely between Episode I and Episode II. Anakin is 16 years old. He's been Obi-Wan's Padawan for a few years now. And things are rocky.
Rocky how? Like, clean your room, Rocky, or I hate you, Rocky.
It's worse than that. It's a Cold War. It's I don't trust you, Rocky.
Oh, wow.
They are coming off a previous mission to a planet called Andara. We don't need to get into the weeds of that specific book, but the takeaway is essential. Anakin went rogue.
Of course he did.
He hid critical information from Obi-Wan to achieve a tactical goal. He succeeded technically, but he broke the trust. He lied by omission.
Oof. That is deadly for a master-apprentice bond. I mean, that's everything.
And Obi-Wan, being the very traditional, somewhat, emotionally repressed Jedi that he is, didn't react with anger. He didn't yell.
No, that's not his style.
He reacted with disappointment. He reacted with silence, with a polite distance.
Which is so much worse. 1,000 times worse.
It is infinitely worse. Silence creates a vacuum, and Anakin, being Anakin, fills that vacuum with insecurity and self-doubt.
So that's where we start. Anakin is at the Jedi Temple. He's 16. He's feeling that polite distance from his father figure, this man he worships. And he's trying to relax.
Yep.
But knowing Anakin, relaxing isn't really his strong suit.
No. The book opens with him swimming in a lake near the temple. And he hates it. He hates free time.
You need the mission.
He feels aimless without a mission. He's diving into this green water, trying to clear his head, but he can't because the silence from Obi-Wan is louder than any shouting match could be.
That's a powerful image.
And the text actually gives us this heartbreaking insight. Anakin actually misses Obi-Wan correcting him. He misses the arguments.
Because correction means he cares.
Exactly. Correction implies investment. It means I'm paying attention to you. Silence implies he's given up. It's devastating for him.
So Anakin is under this waterfall, physically exerting himself to the limit, just trying to wash away the stress, trying to find some peace, and boom, it happens.
The vision.
The vision.
And we need to be clear. Force visions aren't like watching a movie on a screen. They're not passive.
No, they're invasive.
They are sensory overloads. It's like the universe is screaming directly into your brain. The book describes the water turning to rushing air. The sound drops out. The world just falls away.
So what does he see? What's in this vision?
Chaos. He sees images flashing, a massive fleet of ships, a slave revolt on some unnamed world. But then the image that freezes him, the one that everything snaps into focus on, his mother, Shmi Skywalker.
This is the button. This is always the button with Anakin.
Yeah.
It's his core wound.
It is. It's the one thing the Jedi can't fix for him. He sees himself with her. He sees the slave cuffs on her wrists. And in the vision, he sees his own hands reaching out. He touches the cuffs, and they fall off. They hit the floor with a heavy clang.
That's such a powerful image, freedom. He's seeing himself as her liberator.
Yes, and it's what he's always wanted. But then it all collapses. The vision ends in what the book calls an explosion of light and sorrow. And he gets this overwhelming feeling that he has lost everyone. Shmi, Obi-Wan, everyone. It's a feeling of absolute crushing loss. And there's a phrase that echoes in his mind like a riddle.
The one below remains below.
Cryptic, right.
Yeah.
Very Oracle of Delphi.
Extremely. But the feeling that accompanies it is absolute loss. So Anakin does the right thing here, surprisingly. He doesn't bottle it up. He doesn't hide it.
No, he does it.
He goes to Obi-Wan.
He does. He breaks the silence. He finds Obi-Wan in the room of 1,000 fountains, which, by the way, sounds like the most relaxing place in the galaxy.
Yeah, it really does.
And he spills it. He tells him everything. Yoda joins them. And this is where the conflict starts. This is the first major fracture.
Okay, how?
Because Anakin looks at that vision. I see my mom. I see cuffs falling off. And he thinks, okay, clear instruction. Go to Tatooine. Free mom.
Which makes perfect sense. If I dream about my mom in trouble, I call my mom. It's a linear thought process, a very human thought process.
Right. But the Jedi, they don't do linear. They deal in metaphors. They deal in symbols. Yoda and Obi-Wan hear this vision and they immediately start deconstructing it.
So they don't take it literally.
Not at all. They hear the phrase, the one below, and they don't think oppressed slave. They think quite literally of someone who was underground. They think of Master Yaddle.
Wait, what, Yaddle? How do you get from the one below to a Jedi Master? That seems like a stretch.
Because Yaddle has a very specific and very traumatic history. She spent centuries imprisoned underground on a planet called Coda before she was discovered and joined the Council.
Centuries.
Centuries. The locals there worshipped and feared her as a mysterious being they called the One Below. It's literally one of her titles. It's a known part of her story.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's a pretty specific connection. I'll give them that.
It is. So the Jedi interpret this as, hey, Yaddle is about to go on a mission. This vision must be a warning about her mission.
And what's the mission?
She's going to a planet called Mawan. And Mawan is, well, it's a mess.
Yeah.
The capital city, Natan, has these massive underground infrastructure tunnels where most of the population lives. Below.
Okay, so they connect the dots. The one below, who is Yaddle, is going to the below, which are the tunnels of Mawan. Therefore, the vision is a warning about this mission.
Exactly. It's a very logical, if impersonal, interpretation.
But Anakin is sitting there just screaming internally.
Yeah, absolutely. He's thinking, are you kidding me? I just saw my mother in chains. I saw myself freeing her. And you're twisting this into a mission to a sewer planet to help a council member who can probably take care of herself.
He feels dismissed. He feels unheard.
Completely. He feels like they're willfully ignoring the Force and his pain to keep him away from his mother. He thinks they're prioritizing the Jedi Order over his family. It confirms all his worst fears about them.
But he goes because he's a Padawan. Because he is on thin ice after that last mission.
He goes. He packs his resentment right next to his lightsaber. And this is where we get to Mawan. And frankly, the description of this place is haunting.
Yeah, lay it out for us. What is Mawan like?
This isn't Coruscant with its gleaming towers. This isn't Naboo. This was once a beautiful world. Rose-colored lights, high culture. But 10 years ago, there was a brutal civil war called the Great Purge.
The Great Purge sounds ominous.
It destroyed the government. The wealthy fled. Now, it's a failed state. It's basically lawless, a total power vacuum.
It's an open world in the worst sense of the term.
Exactly. The government collapsed, and crime lords just moved in to fill the void. The citizens, the normal people trying to survive, have been driven underground into these infrastructure tunnels.
And they're called subrats.
Subrats. It's so dehumanizing. The surface is a ruin, and 3 main crime lords are fighting for the scraps.
Okay, who are the players here?
First, you've got Decca the Hutt.
A Hutt, like Jabba.
A rival of Jabba's clan. She's huge, she controls the transport tunnels and fuel, but she's not exactly a genius. She's brute force. She's the hammer.
Got it.
Then you have Fianna Tala. She's interesting. She's a native Mawan, a thief, but she claims to be a patriot. She controls the food and goods for the people underground.
So she's the Robin Hood figure, or at least that's her brand.
A very gritty, cynical Robin Hood who wants amnesty. She wants the Republic to come in, legitimize her, and give her a government job. She's playing the long game.
Smart. And the third one?
And then there's Stryker.
Stryker. Sounds like a handle you'd use in an online game. Very anonymous.
It does, but no one knows who he is. He controls the power grid, which is everything in a modern city. And he has advanced weaponry. better than a local warlord should have. He's the anomaly, the wild card.
Okay, so the Jedi land in this nightmare. Their job is to help Yaddle stabilize the region so a provisional government can take over. But they need guides to navigate this underground city.
Right, they can't just wander around looking for the bad guys.
Enter Swanee and Rourke.
My favorite characters in the book.
I love these guys. They add such a specific flavor to the story. They feel so real.
They are the comic relief, but they're also survivors. They are tunnel workers. Swanee is this cynical, chatty guy who has this incredible survival philosophy. He says things like, I'm a visionary with a deep interest in my own well-being.
Which is the most honest thing anyone says in this entire book.
Yeah.
I love that.
Probably. And Rourke is his nervous sidekick, his follower. They agree to help the Jedi, mostly for money and protection, but this leads to one of the funniest scenes in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, in my opinion.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. To get close to Deck of the Hud, they have to infiltrate a party, a revel.
Right. They need to get close to hack Deca systems, and Swanee convinces Obi-Wan and Anakin that the only way to get in without being shot is to pose as members of the band.
Swanee and the Rooters.
Swanee and the Rooters. It's perfect.
Just picture this for a second. We need to visualize this.
Oh.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, General of the Republic, the negotiator, a man of immense dignity and control, standing on a stage holding a violflute.
And playing it badly. So badly.
Bad.
He can't find the melody. He has no musical talent whatsoever. Swanee is actually hissing at him on stage to quiet down because he's ruining the set. He's just making noise.
Oh, that's incredible. And Anakin, what's he doing?
Anakin is faking it on a keyboard. But here's the thing, and this is a great character beat. Anakin is actually enjoying this moment a little bit.
Why?
Because he sees Obi-Wan failing at something. It humanizes him. It knocks Obi-Wan off that pedestal of perfection for just a second.
That's a good point. It's a rare moment of levity in this very grim story. But it doesn't last long, does it?
No. They aren't there to rock out. They are there to hack Deca's data pads to find her weaknesses. But just as they are getting close, chaos erupts. Stryker's forces attack the party.
And this is where everything goes wrong. This is the pivot point from adventure to tragedy.
It's a disaster. Smoke, blaster fire, thermal detonators flying everywhere. In the confusion, Anakin does something heroic. He sees Swanee and Rourke in danger and moves to save them. He shields them from a blast.
Heroic. Pure Jedi reflex.
It is. But in doing so, he gets distracted. He spots a thermal detonator rolling toward him a split second too late.
Oh.
He gets blown backward. He's concussed, stunned, and in that moment of physical shock, his grip loosens. He drops his lightsaber.
The one thing you never do. Rule number 1.
The one thing. It's the cardinal sin for a Jedi. And before he can recover, before he can call it back to his hand with the Force, he's grabbed by the enemy.
He's captured.
He is. He wakes up later in a garbage bin.
A garbage bin. Are you serious?
Literally thrown out with the trash. And the internal monologue here is heartbreaking. He's not worried about dying. He's not worried about torture.
No, of course not.
He is terrified of Obi-Wan's judgment. He thinks, I saw the thermal detonator too late. I lost my weapon. I am stupid. He was right not to trust me.
That fear of disappointment again, it's paralyzing him. It's his greatest fear.
It is. He feels like he has proven Obi-Wan's silence right, that he isn't trustworthy, that he failed the test. But he's taken to Stryker's hideout, and this is the big reveal. Stryker walks in. But it's not some local thug. It's Granta Omega.
Okay, for those who haven't read every Jedi Quest book, who is Granta Omega? Because he is a fascinating and really unusual villain.
Granta Omega is arguably the most dangerous non-Force user the Jedi face in this era. He's a wealthy businessman, incredibly charming, but he is a void.
A void? What does that mean?
It's a rare condition. He can mask his presence. People have a hard time remembering his face, what he looks like. He's forgettable on purpose. But his defining trait is his obsession. He is obsessed with the Sith.
He wants to join them.
He wants to impress them. He wants a seat at the table. But he has zero Force sensitivity. He can't touch it.
So he's a fanboy. A rich, deadly fanboy who wants to be noticed by his idols.
He is the ultimate gatecrasher of the Force. He uses money and technology to bridge the gap. And he finds Anakin cuffed in his hideout. Now, Omega is smart. He doesn't torture Anakin physically. He knows that would just make Anakin stubborn.
Right, that would just make him angry.
Instead, he tortures him psychologically. He attacks the insecurity.
He goes for the weak point.
He pulls up a chair and validates Anakin. He looks at this angry, confused teenager who feels abandoned by his master and says, "You've got one foot on the dark path."
Whoa, bold opener, just comes right out with it.
He tells Anakin, "The Jedi are rigid. They hold you back. Why are you following rules made by people who don't understand your power? Why do you let them control you?"
He sounds like the devil on his shoulder. I mean, he's literally echoing Anakin's own private thoughts.
He is. And then he drops the hammer. He leans in and says, "I have a fast ship. I have resources. We can leave right now. We can go to Tatooine. You can free your mother tonight."
Oh, man, that lands. That has to land like a punch to the gut.
It resonates perfectly because it validates the vision Anakin just had. Anakin thinks, see, the vision was literal. The Jedi were wrong. I could go save her. Omega is offering the one thing the Jedi refused to give him: agency. The power to act on his love.
The Jedi told him no, and now this guy, this stranger, is telling him yes.
Exactly. Yes, your feelings are valid. Yes, you should save your mother.
Does Anakin consider it, even for a second?
He refuses out loud. He says, "I am a Jedi." But the book makes it clear the temptation is planted. The seed is in the soil. Omega has proven that there is an alternative to the Jedi way, an alternative that doesn't demand he abandon his mother.
But Omega isn't just trying to recruit Anakin. He has a bigger plan. Anakin is just a pawn.
Right. Anakin is bait. Omega reveals his true goal. He wants to kill a Jedi Council member. He thinks if he kills a master, the Sith, specifically the mysterious Dark Lord he's been trying to contact, will have to take notice of him.
That's his audition tape. Look what I did. I'm worthy.
Exactly. So he forces Anakin to contact Yaddle. He says, "Arrange a meeting, come alone. If you bring back up, I kill the boy."
And the weapon. He's not planning a fair duel, I'm guessing?
It's not a blaster, it's a canister of dihexalon gas.
Which is, what does that do?
It's a military-grade bioweapon. It burns the lungs and eyes. It causes immediate, agonizing death by asphyxiation, and he has enough of it to wipe out the entire city of Natan. Every living thing.
My God. So the stakes just went from rescue mission to genocide prevention.
In an instant. Yaddle gets the message. She knows it's a trap. She's a master. She senses the danger. But she goes. She has to.
She goes alone.
She goes alone. She goes to the meeting point, which is deep underground at an airlift tube station, basically a giant pneumatic tube for transporting goods and people to the surface.
And Omega's there. Anakin is there.
Anakin is there in cuffs. But Omega reveals a nasty detail. These aren't just stun cuffs. They're killer cuffs, rigged to electrocute him with a lethal dose if they're tampered with or if Omega hits a trigger.
So he can't be rescued easily? The stakes just went through the roof again.
Omega lays out the scenario. The bioweapon is in the airlift tube, rigged to launch up to the surface and explode over the city. He tells Yaddle, "You have a choice. You can stop the canister and save the city. You can save Anakin from his cuffs, or you can save yourself. But you can't do all three."
He's trying to break her. He wants to prove that even a Jedi Master has a breaking point, that she will choose self-preservation. He wants to prove the Jedi are hypocrites.
But he underestimates Yaddle. He thinks everyone operates on selfishness like he does, and this sequence, it's one of the most badass, heartbreaking moments in Jedi history.
Walk us through it. What happens?
Omega triggers the launch, the canister shoots up the tube, it's moving incredibly fast. At the exact same moment, Yaddle moves. She doesn't go for Omega. She doesn't go for the weapon yet. She moves in a blur of speed and slices Anakin's cuffs off with her lightsaber.
The cuffs falling.
The cuffs falling. Clang. Just like the vision.
Oh. That realization must have hit Anakin like a truck.
It does. He realizes the vision wasn't about his mother. It was about his failure. It was about his captivity, his freedom. He was the one in chains.
But there's no time to process that.
Yeah.
Yaddle has freed Anakin. Now the weapon is flying up the tube. If it reaches the top, the city dies.
Yaddle Force jumps into the tube after the weapon. She chases the bomb up the shaft.
She catches it.
She catches it. She's suspended in the air high above the ground, holding this canister of death.
Does she try to disarm it?
There's no time. It's about to detonate. And she can't throw it back down because Anakin is there. She can't throw it up because the city is there. So she does the only thing she can, the ultimate Jedi act.
Wait.
She uses the Force to implode the canister. She crushes it while holding it against her chest.
But the gas.
The explosion.
She absorbs it. She
Yeah.
absorbs the explosion and the toxic gas into her own body.
No.
She wraps the Force around it and takes it all in. She essentially eats the grenade to save the city.
That is visceral.
Yeah.
Horrifying. The description is beautiful and terrifying. She doesn't just fall. She disappears into a shower of light particles.
Yeah.
She becomes one with the Force instantly, completely consumed.
The one below remains below.
Forever.
Wow. That is devastating.
Anakin watches this happen. He is standing at the bottom of the tube.
Mhm.
And his reaction isn't just sadness, it's guilt. Crushing. Absolute guilt. He connects the dots instantly. She died because I got captured. She died because I saw a thermal detonator too late. She sacrificed herself for me.
And he's not wrong, technically. I mean, the logic follows.
That's the tragedy. He isn't wrong. If he hadn't been captured, Yaddle wouldn't have been in that room. In his mind, he pulled the trigger. He caused this.
So now we have the aftermath. And this is where the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan really starts to fracture. You'd expect Obi-Wan to hug him, right?
Yeah.
To say, I'm just glad you're alive. We'll get through this.
You would hope. You would think so. Anakin is traumatized. He needs a father figure, not a master. But Yoda arrives, and we get a rare, quiet moment with Yoda. He stands where Yaddle died. He feels the loss of his friend of centuries. But then, almost immediately, he stiffens. He straightens up and says, "Time to be a Jedi."
Compartmentalization. Duty above grief.
Survival. But Obi-Wan takes his cue from Yoda. He follows the Master's lead. So when Anakin tries to confess, when he tries to say, "This is my fault," Obi-Wan shuts him down.
What does he say?
He delivers a line that is technically wise Jedi philosophy, but emotionally disastrous for a grieving teenager. He says, "Jedi do not go down the path of ifs."
Wow. Cold. So cold.
He means it as wisdom. I mean, don't torture yourself with alternate timelines, Anakin. Focus on the now. That path leads to madness. But to a 16-year-old boy who just watched a woman disintegrate to save his life.
It sounds like, shut up, stop whining, your feelings don't matter, move on.
Exactly. It sounds like he doesn't care. It confirms Anakin's worst fear, that Obi-Wan doesn't understand him, that the Jedi are unfeeling statues. The gap between them widens into a canyon right there in that moment.
And meanwhile, the situation on Mawan hasn't actually been resolved. Yaddle is dead, Omega got away, and the crime lords are still there.
Not only is he out there, he has leveled up. He forms an alliance with Dekka the Hutt, the enemy of my enemy principle. Omega has the advanced weapons, Dekka has the transport ships and the fuel. They plan to scorch the earth, destroy the city to ensure no witnesses survive.
And the Senate. The cavalry. Where's the Republic in all this?
The Senate does what the Senate does best. They panic. Because of the bioweapon threat, they pull back their support. They refuse to send troops. They leave the Jedi stranded with just a few local guards.
You're kidding.
Nope.
So it's Obi-Wan, a traumatized Anakin, Yoda, and 2 tunnel workers against an army.
Pretty much. But this is where we see the Jedi intellect. They know they can't win a firefight. They are outnumbered and outgunned, so they fight dirty. They use the environment.
Swanee and Rourke come back into play.
They do. They know the plumbing of the city, the sewers.
Please tell me they use sewage as a weapon.
Oh, they absolutely do. The plan is brilliant in its simplicity. They decide to divert massive amounts of wastewater directly into the refueling lines of Dekka's entire fleet of transports.
The classic sugar in the gas tank maneuver.
But on an industrial, city-wide scale, Anakin is assigned to guard Swanee and Rourke while they hack the valves. It's a humble job, but it's critical, and it works.
Actually works.
Dekka gives the order to launch the fleet to bomb the city, and the engines just choke. They clog with sludge and fail. One by one, they sputter and die.
That is deeply satisfying.
It neutralizes the air support instantly, but it leaves the ground war. And this leads to the final betrayal of the story. Fianna Tala.
The Robin Hood character.
She looks at the odds, she sees the Jedi are still outnumbered. She decides she wants to be on the winning side, no matter what. She contacts Omega and offers to lead the Jedi into a trap in exchange for her life and a place in his new order.
Survival instinct kicking in. She's a pragmatist to the end.
She leads them to a confrontation, and we get a massive battle scene. And I have to mention, seeing Yoda fight in this book is wild. We are used to the cane, the slow walk.
Right.
But here, he is a whirlwind. He is lifting massive shipping containers, destroying droids with a flick of his wrist. It's a terrifying reminder of why he is the Grand Master of the Jedi Order.
And Anakin, how is he fighting?
Anakin fights brilliantly, but the book notes he is fueled by a mix of focus and anger. He is channeling that self-hatred, that guilt over Yaddle, into combat prowess. It's effective, but it's dark.
Which is exactly what Omega told him he had.
Yeah.
1 foot on the dark path. He's proving him right.
Exactly. Omega realizes he's losing. The tide is turned against him. He flees to a hidden ship in the tunnels. Obi-Wan chases him, and this is the showdown, just Obi-Wan and Granta Omega in a dark tunnel.
And this is where the curtain is fully pulled back.
Omega reveals why this is so personal for him. It's not just about impressing the Sith, it's about his father.
He reveals he is the son of Xanatos. Okay, we need to pause here. Xanatos. For the listeners who haven't read Jedi Apprentice, who is Xanatos, this is a deep cut, but it's so important.
Xanatos was Qui-Gon Jinn's apprentice before Obi-Wan. He was the anti-Obi-Wan. He came from a wealthy family. He was arrogant, incredibly talented. He fell to the dark side.
He was Qui-Gon's greatest failure.
Absolutely. He tormented Qui-Gon and a young Obi-Wan for years. He was the reason Qui-Gon was so hesitant to train Obi-Wan in the first place because he was so burned by Xanatos.
And how did he die?
He refused to surrender. He committed suicide by jumping into a pool of acidic crystals rather than be captured by Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Good grief. That's dark.
So Omega blames Obi-Wan for his father's death. He says Obi-Wan drove him to it, but there's a second layer of bitterness that makes Omega such a compelling villain. Xanatos was a powerful Force user. Omega is not.
He didn't inherit the game.
He got the money. He got his father's company, the Off-World Corporation, but he didn't get the magic. He is profoundly bitter. He feels like a disappointment to a dead father. He's trying to destroy the Jedi to prove he is worthy of the name Xanatos.
That is a toxic cocktail of daddy issues. Wow.
It's pure Star Wars poetry, the sins of the father passing to the son, all these broken legacies.
So what happens in the tunnel, the final confrontation?
Omega is cornered. He's about to escape in his ship, but Fianna Tala is there, begging him to take her with him. She betrayed the Jedi for him. She thinks they have a deal.
Does he take her?
Omega shows his true colors. He has no allies, only tools. He picks her up and throws her.
He throws her, like at Obi-Wan.
No, he hurls her onto a bed of jagged rocks to create a distraction. He uses her body as a human shield, something to make the Jedi hesitate.
That is just completely cold.
Anakin is there now. He sees Fianna flying through the air toward these spikes. And despite her betrayal, despite his anger, his Jedi reflexes take over. He loops. He catches her midair just before she's impaled.
He saves the traitor.
He does. It's a moment of pure Jedi instinct, of compassion over anger. But that split second, that act of mercy, gives Omega the window he needs.
He escapes.
He launches his ship. He escapes.
He gets away. After all that, after killing a council member, after almost destroying a city, he just gets away.
He vanishes.
That is incredibly frustrating.
It is. It's meant to be. The battle ends. Dekka the Hutt gets scared off because Yoda bluffs and says they're going to build a Jedi temple on Mawan, so she packs up and leaves. The city is saved, but the victory feels so hollow.
Mawan is saved, but at what cost? Yaddle is gone, the villain escaped, the hero is broken.
Exactly.
So let's zoom out. Let's unpack the so what of this deep dive. Why does this story matter so much in the grand scheme of things?
It matters because it validates Anakin's worst fears and his darkest impulses.
How so?
Think about the vision. Anakin saw cuffs falling. He thought it meant go save Mom. The Jedi said, no, it's a metaphor. In the end, the vision was true. It was about cuffs falling, just his cuffs, not hers. But the message he internalized is, the council was wrong, my vision was right, just not in the way I thought. If I had followed my gut, maybe things would be different.
He learns to trust his own impulses over the council's wisdom.
Exactly. And the rift with Obi-Wan. It's a canyon now. Anakin's drowning in guilt. I killed Yaddle, and he can't talk about it. Obi-Wan is dealing with it by being stoic. Move on. Anakin interprets that stoicism as coldness. He feels like he can't talk to his master about his pain, his greatest trauma.
And who is the one person in this whole story who offered him an alternative, who told him his feelings were okay?
Granta Omega.
The villain.
The villain who said, the Jedi holds you back. I can give you the freedom to save the people you love. Even though Omega is evil, that sentence is now burned into Anakin's brain. It's a seed of doubt.
The Jedi hold you back.
And when Shmi eventually dies in Attack of the Clones, Anakin is going to look back at this moment on Mawan and think, I should have listened to Omega. I should have gone to Tatooine when I had the chance. The Jedi stopped me then, and now she's gone.
Yaddle's death isn't just a sad moment. It's a structural crack in Anakin's foundation of belief in the Jedi Order.
It is the moment the doubt truly sets in. The moment he starts to believe they are the enemy of his love, not the guardians of it.
And it forces us, as the audience, to ask the big provocative question. What if Yaddle had lived?
That's the haunting part, isn't it? Yaddle was compassionate. She was patient. She wasn't as rigid as some of the others on the council. If she had survived, could she have been a different kind of mentor for Anakin? Could she have bridged that gap between him and Obi-Wan?
We'll never know, because the one below remains below.
And the galaxy is darker for it.
Well, that is a heavy note to end on, but a necessary one. It's amazing how much depth and tragedy is hidden in these books between the films.
Jude Watson really understood the assignment. She wasn't just writing filler. She was building the ladder that leads down to Vader, rung by painful rung.
Absolutely. Thank you for walking us through the chaos of Mawan. And to our listeners, next time you watch The Phantom Menace and see Yaddle sitting in the background of the council chamber, give her a nod. She went out like a true hero.
A true master.
We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.